Well, hello everyone. We are here this morning playing with the smelting kiln one more time. We are just doing some roasting, which should have been on my previous videos. And now we're going to be doing a little bit of smelting of the material that we just roasted. Now we're using the KK8, the Quick Kiln 8 here. Thank you again to Pat from Quick Kiln and David from 911 Metallurgist for supplying us with this kiln so we can play with smelting. So Dad's got the second charge all ready to go here, and we're actually doing this one right because what we did the first time was not right at all. So he's got the proper recipe ready to go for an oxide ore. Unlike we did the first time where we actually did a sulfide recipe, even though it was an oxide ore. Okay, so he's got 30 grams of the concentrates, the roasted concentrates. How much?
50 grams
of
sodium carbonate.
50 grams of sodium carbonate.
100 grams lead oxide.
100 grams lead oxide. Letharge.
We'll deal with that later.
Hit the glass against the metal. That's always good for it.
25 grams borax.
25 grams of borax. Flour. Oh, sorry. Silica. 10 grams of silica. We cut the silica in half because there's a lot of silica in the mix already.
And our flour.
How much?
10 grams.
10 grams of flour. And now we'll mix it up really carefully. This time around, we should have done it right, I think. We've done two smelts. So far, both of them wrong. This one, third time lucky, let's hope.
Using a new crucible this time.
No!
Of course, we didn't lose anything.
Anything much.
Dust.
Our table happens to be yellow now.
Trying to give it my hand.
I think you were mixed enough, Dad. I think you were mixed enough. You might want to go wash your hands now.
It is mixed enough now.
This is the next charge that should be correct. All things being equal. Now, are we too hot though?
No. We're okay. You just leave it open for a minute. Turn my fire down. Oh, we're too hot over the table there.
Yeah, we're burning the table.
Okay, turn together.
So now this is the full charge. This is the big charge in there.
This is a 30 gram charge.
30 gram charge. We've got it back down to a reasonable temperature to start with.
Yep.
Or
Yep.
should we take the top off?
Idling at 900.
It's still at 900?
That's our warm-up temperature.
No, we're 900 Celsius, 900 Fahrenheit, Celsius. Okay.
Celsius.
One of the screw-ups we had last time was in the book there was both Fahrenheit and Celsius, and we read it wrong once, and we put a Fahrenheit temperature where a Celsius temperature should have been, and really screwed things up. Okay, so we're letting it heat slowly now with the full charge. Let's really keep our fingers crossed that we don't bubble over.
Well, we got the lid on it in there.
Yes, but it'll still bubble out around the lid if it goes too much.
And of course, we're timing it accurately. We'll look at the clock now. Okay, went in there around 10:58. Pull it up and see where we're at.
We're just seeing what's looking like.
We're 10 minutes in at the 900 degrees, or halfway, and good thing we put a lid on there.
it's bubbling like mad inside. So we've had the good charge going now for what, 20 minutes or so? 25 minutes. We're probably getting pretty close. We took the lid off once it stopped foaming because it was foaming pretty good inside. But once it stopped foaming, we took the lid off and now it's just doing its thing inside. The chemistry is happening. The flour is reacting with the lead oxide, pulling the oxygen off of it, turning it into metallic lead. The lead will be raining through the solution in there, grabbing any gold that might be in that solution, taking it to the bottom with it. We're hoping this time, because we did the right flux, that we won't have that chunk of unrefined material left over. Whatever it was, we're not even sure what it was. Dad is playing with his first Cupel over here, seeing what he can do, but he's learning right now before we do an actual video on Cupelling, because we want to know what we're doing properly before we actually tell people what to do. Not that we don't make mistakes. We make a lot of them.
The mistakes are the fun part.
And one of these times we're actually going to do everything right.
Everybody has fun until they lose an eye.
No, eye protection on. No losing eyes. I'm upside down. Get eye protection on? How much longer? 10 more minutes. Okay.
Very difficult to hold this in 1,000.
So we're just a couple minutes off of pouring here. We got the graphite mold heating at the moment. We had to actually pour hot water on top of our propane cylinder because it froze up. But things are just about to go. I've moved the camera so we get a nice close view of what's going on here. And we're keeping our fingers crossed that we don't have that chunk of solids left in the bottom.
What did this or
whatever it was. Now, this is a 30 gram, so you're going to be using both sides on this. It's going to take a lot more. Where do we get this?
What are you going to do with bare hands?
And it would be nice if you could get all the lead into one. I don't know if you can, but maybe pour very, very slowly and see if you can get the lead to flow at one point with the flux still in the crucible.
The crucible's got a flat side, so it's kind of... It'll be interesting. We'll see. I'll try and do that. There's the lead. All of the lead is going in that one.
All the rest of it.
Guess what? Sort of all fits in one side. It all sort of fits in one side.
You notice the crucible had flux down its edges? It boiled over at one point.
Oh, it did it? Oh, that's right. That was a new.
Yeah, I don't know what will be on the bottom, but it had flux all down its edges.
Just lift that off for a second. Let me take a look at it.
First, I want to get a shot of this, because this is really cool looking.
Oh, yeah. The surface of Mars or something here.
A second ago, it was actually swirling while it was still molten. I should have my protection on. Oh, there we go.
Yes, because this stuff, what do they call that when it shards off?
Okay, we're gonna look down into our crucible because we think we boiled over. We saw flux on the edge of the crucible, so it looks like it may have boiled over. We want to make sure there's none sitting on the bottom of the kiln. That would be bad.
I did notice, having said that, I noticed I stuck to that piece of material in the bottom, our little stand. I felt it go off of it.
That's about as long as I can hold that.
Yeah.
My gloves are crusty.
I didn't see anything down in there.
We'll have a good look at that crucible once we cool things off here and see. What is our next step here? Our next step is probably lunch, right?
Could be.
Yeah, so we probably want to shut things down.
And then we'll get our next...
and we'll have a good look and see if we heard anything.
Are we going to shut it right off?
I think so.
Okay, if I shut it right off, put that up there, it'll keep all its heat.
So yes, we screwed up yet again. Obviously, it boiled over. The flux went down the edge of the crucible onto the block below. That block does a couple things. It lifts it up out of the main flame when it's in the kiln, and also gives it a bit of a protective so that spillover gets, if it's small enough, gets caught on the block. We can replace that easily. Unfortunately, the spillover wasn't small enough, because we have a chunk of flux starting to eat through the bottom of our kiln. Now we have to repair that before we do any more. I think what we're going to try to do is loosen off the clamps, take the bottom piece out, flip it over, put it back in so we can continue today with the other side up. So that's out of the main heat. And then we'll actually go and use the repair kit to actually fix that up properly. But that was the 30 gram load, and we did notice it was foaming a lot. So whether it was the wrong flux, we just had too much, I don't know at this point. However, we did get a good pour out of it. We should have a great little lead. It's a Prill, right?
Prill is the word.
Prill is the word. Oh, I guess Dad's fixing already. Don't loosen the top one. See if you can get away with it.
I'm just seeing, yeah, that's what I want, but I don't know if that'll work. We'll see.
Can you pull the thermocouple out, or is it fused in there too? Oh, look at that! You can pull it out.
Thermocouple is still reading some interesting numbers, and I'm playing with it, but that's okay. This is interesting.
It's coming, but not.
Well, the very tip. There we go.
There we go. Got it out.
Okay, so that didn't work. So far.
We may have to let it cool a little bit before we... I noticed there was a dent. over here, Dad. It looks like it was in shipping or something, got dropped and dented in. So that's going to obviously cause it
to hang in there. Yes, you're right. You're absolutely right. So
we'll have to open up that bottom a bit more to get that out, obviously. Repair time.
That might do it.
You think you might be able to push it out at that point? Want me to go get some gloves on and help with this?
Just give that a couple of bumps. Hold it. It is working, but there's a... It got heavier as I held it for longer.
Yes. Yes, I don't have my gloves on, so I can't really do much good right now in this frickin' hot thing.
Let me change gloves and we'll be fine.
Now, there was a crack in that bottom, so it might come out in two pieces, but we'll put it back in two pieces the same way.
Okay.
You want me to bop it again?
Yep.
I'm glad you used the cooler crucible for this.
Good idea, wasn't it? Well, let's just see how we're doing. We seem to have stopped moving.
It's coming, though.
Oh, yeah.
It's coming. I'd rather not take the stainless off entirely, because then reassembling could be a real challenge. Yep. Especially since there are cracks now in it. So it could come right apart on us.
Okay, just see. Just see how much of that is. Oh, it's coming nicely.
It's a-coming. Should be coming around.
This is what's hanging us up.
Yeah, just that dent is a little too much.
That dent is right there.
on the dent side. Just hit your hat.
Yeah. Now we're coming unevenly again.
It is coming though.
Oh yeah, it's coming nicely.
Oh,
There's one.
oh, is there two?
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
It's all 1-inch material. And this stuff is available inexpensively in 4x4 sheets, or 2x4 sheets. And
There we go, and it held together. Perfect. We're gonna be able to make this work nicely.
now,
It'd be almost worth getting an extra one of these from Pat. Yeah, there's the cracks forming in it.
okay, so which way should we do this?
I think we should put this one in that way up.
And ruin it as we go. I'm worried about that attacking that.
Oh, good call. Good call. Yes. Maybe this one, put that right at the very bottom.
We'll leave his name there someplace.
And
doing this. We have the perfect tool for it.
you know, I would assume, actually, I pretty much guarantee it, that Pat from Kiln will sell these components individually. I know he already said that if we ever do something catastrophic, to send it back to him and he'll rebuild it.
Yeah.
Obviously for a price, I'm sure. But I'm sure we could also just say, hey, I need an 8-inch bottom piece, and he would make one up for us.
I should have knocked that dent in a little better. But this is going swimmingly.
That actually was quite easy.
Yep. Swimmingly.
And also having it exposed like this, when we do want to spend time to repair it, it's all we have to do is flip it over right now, and it'll be easy to repair.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the next time we screw up, which will probably be the next time we melt something, because we haven't not screwed up yet.
We don't know. We don't know what's in there. We may not have.
But we screwed up because it boiled over.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So we did screw up.
It's burned. Yes, that's right.
What was the material in there?
In where?
Oh, that was still more of the blue chip stuff. This stuff.
Correct. That was the roasted blue chip.
The roasted blue chip done properly, except it boiled over. Okay, apparently the video that was supposed to be all about smelting also has a little bit about kiln repair in it. And look at that. Just like new.
Well.
Looks like we never screwed anything up. And I think we'll make sure we put a more liberal coat of bone ash at the bottom. You put the clamp in the wrong spot? You did too, didn't you?
Got a little high on that side.
Can we get bone ash easily?
Yes.
Is it something we just pick up from a hardware store or anything like
I
that?
don't think it's a hardware store, but it is a commodity used in large quantities in pottery for the same reason.
Perfect, the pottery store, yes. The kiln.
Green Barn, or even if there's somebody here in town, they'll have it.
Oh, and you asked if you had the burner too far in? Mm-hmm. Yes, you did.
Yes, I did.
You did, because you could see it inside the kiln, and you can see it definitely now, that it was too far in. Yeah, so we'll make sure.
I saw that afterwards myself.
We'll make sure we back it out for the next one.
Yeah, like right there. Okay, so actually,
we're still good to go today, although we have the problem of this piece now is unusable. For today, I think we can use a piece of our brick, but we're not going to be able to salvage that because it's going to have too much flux wanting to burn. Yes, yep. I think we can't salvage our crucible for this either.
I think these crucibles have to be. I think it can be recovered by inverting them and burning them in an oven and let everything run off them
for a long, long time. Yeah. Thank you, Dave, for sending me 4 of them, not just one. That's Dave from 911 Metallurgist. He sent me 4 crucibles. I guess he knew I would screw it up.
Now, I just want to see something here. This is significantly higher, so our lid is going to be argumentative.
That Green Barn place, or whatever you called it, is it a local business?
No, that's in Ladner.
Okay, so if we wanted more of those little round pucks, we would have to order them in.
Right. That's glass, don't do that. Scratch yourself.
Oh, crunch. Well, you can see a bit of the lead in there, but it's all, that's it right there, that's the lead. Where's the pounder? Oh, glad you didn't hit anything breakable there.
Tell me about it.
Okay, that's not working so well. Well, breaking some up.
Hit with the edge of that.
You can really see the top edge of it. It's like,
Ooh, look at the division.
oh yeah.
Ooh, we got that much? Ooh. Here. Can't see what's going on, but better results.
Really?
We're not getting that marvelous division.
I'm expecting glass to break easier than that. Well, there's the lead right there. Something's telling me that's too much for our
Yeah, somebody's telling you there's too much lead there. Okay, now, what did we expect out of this? This ore is which ore?
This is the blue chip ore still, the roasted blue chip ore.
Okay, so, which was down to metals.
We should have had a 28 gram Prill.
This is what we thought we would get out of that flux, yes.
I'm hitting the point right now, knocking the point down, so it's hopefully knocking that stuff off the top.
You got nothing but lead there.
No, I'm not quite into the glass
Oh,
off.
did you? No. Okay, yep.
Let's try and knock this stuff off.
Yep.
By hitting the point.
And we got, okay, so what do we got for weight?
That's more
I'm just expecting 80 grams there.
more than 28, that's for sure.
80 grams. Ah! 85.
I guess 85.
Oh, bugger you. So, either we got a hell of a lot of precious metals in there.
Or
we did
too much of the
lead oxide.
lead oxide is converting over to lead, which means too much flour.
Correct.
Okay, Dad is starting to make the charge for the next ore. That's the second ore we roasted, which is a very high concentration of gold. There's a lot of gold in that. He's mixing up the fluxes here. Again, it's an oxide ore. It's an oxidized ore. So we don't need any oxidizer in the flux. That's the flour he just put together. And we're using nothing but the best whole wheat flour. We're being healthy here. Okay, there we go. Now we need to get the ore going here.
Shy of 30, it's 29.9, is that okay?
29.9? I think that'll do.
And our crucible.
Are you going to mix them all together first, or straight into the hot crucible? No, we try mixing it all together first.
Yes, where do we put the crucible?
Is the crucible not in there? crucible is in there.
Is it in there? Oh. Good. Okay.
Flour, 4 grams of flour, 60 grams of litharge, 10 grams of silica, and something of borax. No, I don't know what the other ones were.
First one was borax.
It was borax. How much borax though? 25 borax?
Borax 25, 50 of...
And 50 of the soda ash.
carbonate.
Pour it into these 2 containers, Dad.
Pardon?
And then you can pour back and forth.
Good idea. Right, I'm using...
Oh.
Did it again.
No.
I was using it to crush up the lumps. We've got some lumps to blow.
Put it on right away here.
On that lid.
I'm going to bring the camera over. I'll get you to lift that off while I show what's going on inside. But again, just lift it off a little bit because we don't want to splatter. It's foaming and bubbling really bad in there. We don't want that splattering out into the kiln. That's why the lid is on top. And we really don't want that to get so foamed up that it goes over the top of the crucible. Once we know that the foaming has sort of died down some and it's not going to go over the top edge, we'll take that lid off, we'll put the main lid back on the crucible, on the furnace, and then let it do its thing, let it go all the way down. We think we're just putting too big of a charge in that small crucible, and that's why we're having problems with it going up over the top edge. We need a slightly bigger crucible to do these 30-gram charges.
Or drop back to 15s or 20s.
Or drop back to 15, yeah. Yeah, come and watch this carefully, please. Come and watch this carefully. Let me bring the camera over.
Whoa! Right at the top, eh?
Yep. I think when the surface cools too much, it starts bubbling up because it's not popping its bubbles.
Lifts the lid, lifts the surface up, yeah. I mean, it isn't coming up way high.
Yeah, it's going down. All of a sudden it's gone half its volume.
And it's not like the heat isn't turned on. In fact, the heat is up to 1,000 now, making it thinner.
Maybe the cooler melt was the problem. It was too thick, so the bubbles weren't escaping.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're way down. All of a sudden we're way down. There's no bubbles at all. Do you think that might mean we're ready to pour it?
No, I think we gotta leave it at that temperature for a while and make sure everything settles in there. Okay.
We'll make sure we have a nice hot mold.
Yeah.
Pour it into. Okay, we're ready here.
Are we ready?
Sure. Yes, we are.
I'll finish that in a second. What are we doing? We're ready for what? A pour?
Pour.
Oh!
Camera's recording our pour of this high gold concentration material. Let's get this layer away before.
Yeah, we keep doing that.
Whoop.
Yeah, we're gonna have a lump here sooner or later.
Feel good?
Yep. Now I'm pouring in there. I'm expecting how much volume?
If you're careful, you should get 1.
Yeah.
But go slow, and that way if there's any extra flux, we can go in together. Ready?
Ready to go. Yes, this is a large mix. And it's very, very thin viscosity.
Ooh,
And I
nice
couldn't
one.
make it.
Oh, you did it wrong.
Yeah, I know I did, but I can do it this way too. Okay.
I need thicker gloves.
Yes, it's a real welding noise or something.
Touch it.
You can if you want.
I didn't see the lead coming out in the pour like I did the last time.
No, I didn't
It
either.
seemed to be all the sort of same thickness.
But-
So I'm not sure if where we're going to find it, if we're going to find it in both.
But the lead has always come out in the last couple or three pours. The lead has always come out. It's been much more fluid than the flux. Okay, like it ran through it would run through the flux.
Right.
This time the flux came out very fluid. So I don't think there was as big a differential. And before I could feel it too. So far it's looking bad.
Except I don't see the telltale
Line.
lead, yeah.
You were there. Inside, go in.
We'll let it cool now out like that a bit more.
Yeah, before we hammer it.
What do you think? You think we break it up now? Well, there's the lead Prill out of the bottom of that mix.
That's more better.
It's more better, but it's not perfect yet. It's still, you can see that it's still sort of bubbly and porous and kind of weird, but I think it's going to work to melt down for Cupelling later on. I just have to knock off the rest of that flux.
Wait, what do we expect? I'm taking such fine care of my scale.
51.3. We can do it the 54 gram Cupel. Just barely big enough, small enough to do in the Cupels that we have here. But again, Cupelling, we're going to do another whole series on Cupelling. So this is just the litharge that's melted down and captured all the gold. Litharge is lead oxide. In the smelting process, the oxygen's pulled away, leaving just the lead. And the lead captures the gold and collects in the bottom. So there's the collector metal, the lead, and hopefully it's got our gold in it. We will do more on smelting. The next video will be on Cupelling, but it's probably not going to be till spring now. And eventually I want to do a video of a single rock from a single mine, taking it all the way through crushing, refining or concentrating, roasting, smelting, and then Cupelling all in one rock. So you get to see the whole process. But we're just doing a little bit of smelting today, a couple of smelts of roasted material. Roasting I did last day, hopefully you saw that video. And right now we don't have a gold to show you because the gold is in the Prills. Prill, right? Prill. Prills.
And some in your pocket.
What's that?
Some in your pocket.
But we haven't done that yet. The gold I have in my pocket that we Cupelled out, we haven't actually Cupelled out yet because I haven't made the video of that yet. And that was done with the KK8 kiln from Pat at Quick Kiln. Thank you to Pat for sending me this for playing with. And to Dave at 911 Metallurgist, our Canadian supplier, who set it all up. Cupelling won't be till the spring, so I won't say until then because I know I'll do things between now and then. But I'm sure I'm out to do some prospecting soon. Those will have videos, Cupelling in the spring. Until then, bye!